voter?
No, I'm not.
Sorry, I'm a petition.
All right, man. Too. All right, out here again. Another Saturday. Let's come out here. For that great and terrible day of the Lord. Who's our people? The Negroes, Latinos, the Native Americans. Those are true Israelites. That came out of Egypt, man. Those are the Israelites the Bible speaks of, man. True Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, man. First and foremost, I give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakadash, Rakda Yahweh, Rakda Yahushai, Rakda Yahweh, Rakda Yahushai, Rakda Yahweh, Rakda Yahushai. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops. We're in Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect across the planet Earth, pushing this truth in the spirit, and sincerity, and the truth. Yeah, just want to get right into it, man, because that great and terrible day of the Lord is near, man. It is near and hasty grateful. This man is on his way to, push this new world order. He gets these little wars set up so that he can push, more unrighteous decrees. I got this article, did a video on it last night. Want to go a little bit more into it. During the original Iraqi war, that was set up, then 9/11 happened, all these series of events. This war in Iran, possibly more series of events can come out of that. High gas prices, Out here in California, some spots it's $8 a gallon, man. Prepare to see prices like that throughout all Babylon, man. $8 a gallon. Right now, average $5 a gallon in California. $3, $4, which is expensive in other places, man. But you expect that to be doubled, tripled, man. That's all pushing for this global collapse, man. This dollar collapse. And also pushing for that New World Order, which is that microchip, that beast that's part of the New World Order. Also, this AI system. What is it? Knowledge shall be increased. All this technology that's coming, people are going to lose their jobs. The scriptures speak about the grinding shall cease. So, man, we're in these times, man. But first scriptures, Zephaniah 1 and 4, 1 and 14. Salak. Zephaniah 1 and 14. The great day of the Lord is near. It's near. Haste greatly. Yeah, the day is near. It's near. How do we know it's near? Say it every week, man, through these prophecies. No man knows the time and date. Not even Yahushua knows. But the Lord, when he was on the scene, gave us distinct, signs to look after. Wars, rumors of wars. Earthquakes in diverse places, uproars of the people. We're seeing all that all at once, man. Different scriptures like in Daniel, when this word is pushed, then shall the end come. The word has been pushed, man. The seals have been broken. That's what it says in the book of Daniel. Let me get that real quick. Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words, seal the book, even to the time of the end. So the book was sealed up until the time of the end. True understanding of the scriptures was sealed up back to the time of Daniel. So all the way up and then. So that's why when you grew up in the Christian church, you believe that Jesus was a so-called white man. You believe Jesus was his name. That salvation was for everybody. All that and all the dark sayings. Pastor never went into the deep breakdowns and all that, Yeah, John 3:16 and all that. That was the main scripture you taught. Vacation Bible school, All your summers, you had to go to vacation Bible study, man. Only thing they taught you was John 3:16, man. The Beatitudes and all that, So because the truth and understanding of this book was sealed, It says, but thou, O Daniel, set up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. People, knowledge shall be increased, Like the dude that just came up asked me if I'm a registered voter. The scriptures say you're not supposed to, raise up a king of another nation over you, man. You ain't supposed to be taking part in this voting system. This image of the beast system, this Roman system, reincarnated. You're not supposed to take part in that, man. What I'm voting for these people, these politicians, that don't give a damn. They're all in league with each other, Like this guy, Gavin Newsom, out here in California, the governor, he's trying to run for president. It was seen that he was laughing it up with Donald Trump. Someone was telling me about that. I saw him laughing it up, giggling and chuckling up with Donald Trump. And just a few months ago, they were sworn enemies, man. So they're all in the same Democrats, Republicans, they all are one league with each other. At the end of the day, they're all the elites. They're all going after this New World Order, man. Their hope is to want to push the New World Order. They're all on the same page, so to speak, man. They're all together, man. It's all an illusion out here, man. Democrat asked me if I'm a registered voter. No, I'm not a registered voter, man. I'm not gonna elect a king that's of another nation over me, man. That's in the scriptures. I'm supposed to do that. That's part of the word being shut up until the time of the end, man. We didn't know that. The pastor wasn't bringing out those scriptures. The pastor wasn't bringing out, Deuteronomy 28, 68, how, with slaves and all that. Tribe of Judah going to slavery on slave ships, man. I wasn't pushing in Sunday school. I wasn't pushed Sunday service. I wasn't pushed in your early rise service, early bird service. Church. You ain't talking about none of that. Yes, it says, but thou, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. So that's another clue that we're at the time of the end, is that this truth has been pushed. Yahushua broke the seals, as it's spoken about in Revelation. Yahushua broke the seals and gave his men the understanding, starting with the apostles and the elders. Gave them the understanding, and they pushed the word. They put the truth out on the internet, and it spread across the whole planet Earth, man. It says, but thou, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. That knowledge is being increased. Knowledge of the scriptures being increased. Also technical knowledge, man. This technology is being increased. AI systems, man. Computers, chips, mainly that Neuralink, mainly that MOTB, RFID technology. That's being pushed. That's how we know we're at the end, man. They want to chip everybody. They want to put that chip in you, man. The Lord said not to take that chip. Yes, Deuteronomy, just going back to that whole voting thing. Deuteronomy 17 and 14. When thou art come unto a land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, thou shalt possess it, and shalt dwell therein, and shalt say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. So even when Israel went to the land, man, they wanted to be like the other nations. Yahushua was our king, man. He's our king. Most High, Yahushua is our king, man. Why you gonna raise somebody up? Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy power shall choose. Yes, the Lord's going to choose, the king. He did. King David, King David's our king, man. One from among thy brethren thou shalt set king over thee. Yeah, see, you're not supposed to vote somebody of another nation over you, man. They didn't put that in the church. They didn't teach you that in the churches, man. Why? Because it's sealed up. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. What our people do, man. They set up Obama. Obama's not a part of our people. They ran out and set him up. When Jesse Jackson was running for president, he didn't get no votes like that. Our people weren't with him like that. As soon as Obama came on the scene, people ran out in droves to put him up in the presidency. And Bill Clinton, all they do is play the sax. He got on the Arsenio Hall show, played the sax. Our people just fell in love with that dude, man. Come to find out, he was all up in that Epstein Island too, man. So, he's a Democrat. He was all up in there, man, with the elites. doing what they was doing over there, man. Obama with all these presidents. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother, man. So yeah, I mean, that knowledge was hidden up until the end. I just wanted to make that point. He came up to me asking me if I was a registered voter. No, I don't vote, man. You know, King David's my king, man. You know, Yahweh Shai is my king, you know. But back in Zephaniah 1:14, the great day of the Lord, Yahweh Shai is near, hastening greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty men shall cry their bitter one. Yeah, our job is to come out here, let people know, give them warning from the Most High. Hey, that great and terrible day of the Lord is coming, man. Hastening greatly, it's going to be quick. You know? And they say like it's tearing now. When it comes, it's going to come. It's going to hit hard and fast. And it's building up. It's going to be so bad the mighty men are going to cry their bitter one, man. Tough guys out here, military guys, you know. It's a day, that day is the day of wrath, the day of trouble, the day of distress, the day of wasteness, the day of desolation, the day of darkness and gloominess, the day of clouds and thick darkness. Yeah, what's going to cause that thick darkness and thick clouds and gloominess? And nuclear destruction, and missiles hit, man. It's going to cause mushroom clouds to rise up. You know, Super said 200 million missiles. 200 million missiles are gonna hit this place, man. So they got a lot more missiles than they're putting out there, man. Put out there that America only has like 5,000 nuclear missiles. Russia has like 2,000 nuclear. Iran, all these different places have a certain amount of, like they're counting them. No, man. It's mentioned 200 million. So that's the right number amount the Lord wants to wipe this place off the map. To wipe America completely off the map, man. The 10th part of the city shall fall, man. So what it's going to do, it's going to cause the mushroom clouds to rise up and block out the sun. They're going to block out the moon, block out the stars, man. For a period of time, man. I mean, you all knows that's what happens. You got these nuclear scientists that breaks that stuff down, man. I did a video on it a while back. Atomic scientist, Smith, helps, that knowledge that helps create that technology. Just break it down. It only takes, maybe like a few missiles, like 10, 50 missiles to create, hundreds of pounds of soot and smoke. It takes what, a few hundred, a couple hundred. I forgot the exact number. It's maybe like 50 to 100 missiles to touch down. Will create like 100 million tons of smoke. 100 million tons of smoke. Smoke ain't that heavy. Tons of smoke regenerated, just from a few missiles touching down, man. Soot, you know what soot is? That black stuff, man. Smoke. Now that's just enough to block out the entire skies, man. It's gonna say 200 million are gonna touch down, man. So you can imagine the gloominess and the thickness, thick clouds, and the gloominess and the darkness that's gonna come from that, man. Watch that movie, The Matrix. It said how they damaged the sky, they pierced the sky, and it was just all gray and black up there, man. The Matrix. It's gonna be worse than that, man. A day of the trumpet against, it says, a day of the trumpet and alarm against fenced cities and against the high towers. Fenced cities, high towers, man. An alarm is going to hit, man. And I will bring stress upon men. And they shall walk like blind men because they have sinned against the Lord. How about you? The only nation that can sin against the Lord is the nation of Israel, man. The law was given to you. Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. This destruction is for you. time, that's why they call it the time of Jacob's trouble. Hour of temptation, man. This time that's coming up is for you. You know, Yahushua, these elect, you got 1,000 years to get these other nations, man. So this is the last king that's coming, man. That's for you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Got this Asian woman looking over here, man. Yeah, she's gonna be a washpot in the kingdom, man. You know, a little thin little body, man. She's gonna be that washpot in the kingdom, man. She's got 1,000 years to get these other nations. It says, because they have sinned against the Lord, man. So this structure's for you. This last ass whooping, you know, the Lord has to put on you people, man. Then you'll get it right, you know? Then you want to establish a second covenant, you know, to where it forces us to get it right. To where it's gonna feel good, you know, to do the right thing, man. Where it's gonna be easy to do the right thing. It's gonna be programmed to do the right thing, man. Follow this law, statute, commandments to the utmost. You're gonna love it, you know. On this side, it's easy to be wicked as hell, man. You know. It's easy to commit adultery out here, man. It's easy to hate somebody, hate your brother, be jealous and envious of your brother, man. It's easy out here to do that. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung, man, that destruction. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. So your money ain't gonna be able to deliver you. Your silver, your gold, deliver you, man. Okay, how much money you got? Especially, you know, especially Israelites, man. The ones that got a little bit of something on the side, got some money. They ain't gonna save you, man. The elites, you know, the Lord's gonna preserve some of the elites. You know, so the elites, they got their billions and trillions of dollars. They can go out, you know, the mountain retreats, hide out in the mountains, deep underground mountains. But the men of the Lord are gonna go up in there and get them, man. The men of the Lord are gonna go up in there and get them, and they're gonna be the first ones in slavery. Yeah, otherwise your money ain't gonna save you, man. The day of the Lord's wrath, you know, you're gonna be able to buy your way out of this nuclear destruction. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. How you doing, man?
You got a fucking dollar change?
Ah, man, I got no change on me, man.
You ain't got nothing.
Nothing.
Fuck, bitch.
How bad, man? How you doing?
What's your name?
Shemai.
Oh? You got a single?
No, I'm not seeing you.
Oh, well, since appreciate that, I guess you know it's fun.
All right, man. Have a good day, man. Neither the silver nor the gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of jealousy. Yeah, you know, people possessed out here, bugged out. It's gonna be a better day, man. You know? Don't let that, you come across some bugged out dude like that, hey man, that's just a demon on him, you know? It's gonna be a better day for our people, man. It's gonna be a better day, you know? What's that movie? Marvel movie. Sun will shine again on our Asgard. Really, Thor told Loki, sun will shine again on Asgard. The sun's gonna shine again on Israel, man. The whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, where he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Speedy riddance, all of them that dwell in the land. You know? Lord got you out here bugged the hell out. The Lord's gonna make a speedy riddance of you, man. Then you'll be good in the kingdom, man. 2/3 of our people, man. The Lord's gonna make a speedy riddance. The other nations out here in America, the Lord's gonna make a speedy riddance. He's gonna say, but 1 hour shall come. It's only taking an hour to destroy this place. Let's see if I can find that. That's how that's the ultimate destruction, man. 200 million missiles, man. Done, man. Yes, Revelation 18:9. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her. We had kings of the earth, everybody's living deliciously. These elites, 2/3 of our people, man, they once at least took the bag. Hell, these Israelite camps that took the bag. They're living deliciously in this place, man. Shall bewail her and lament for her. And shall see the smoke of her burning. Yeah, they're not gonna be able to make money here in America no more, man. America's a consuming nation. All these different nations are making money in this place. You check your tag, check the made in tags. Something made in China, made in Bangladesh, sweatshops. They can produce some Jordans, some clothes, or some goods. Pennies on the dollar, man. These little sweatshops over there in third world countries, man. African country, China, pennies on the dollar. Pay $300 for some Jordans. It took like $1 to make that thing, man. Paid that worker 25 cents. So these kings of earth are, they're going to bewail for America. But America's completely destroyed because they're not going to be able to make money off this place anymore. Because shall bewail her and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning. Yeah, you're going to be able to see that smoke all throughout the world, different lands. You're going to see the smoke of her rising up for a very long time. That's how bad that destruction is going to be. 10th part of the city fall, meaning the whole country, the whole land of America is going to be on fire, destroyed. 200 million missiles, man. From Maine to California, the whole place is going to be destroyed. So that's smoke. It's going to be a lot of smoke. In the different countries, you're going to see it for a very long time, man. Standing afar off for the fear of torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, that great city Babylon, man. Ancient Babylon wasn't destroyed by fire. It was taken over, it was absorbed, For 1 hour is thy judgment come, man. 1 hour, that judgment's come. That's how bad that destruction's gonna be, man. That's why you read it. It's gonna make a speedy riddance of the land, man. This land's gonna be destroyed 1 hour. Well, that's just, you can imagine, so we're talking about that noisome pestilence. Imagine how loud that's gonna be. You may be able to, you're gonna see it from the other end, or you're gonna see the smoke. You may be able to hear it. I wouldn't be surprised if you can hear it. The bombs blowing up, everything's blowing up. I wouldn't be surprised. That noisome pestilence. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth her merchandise anymore. Yeah, no one's gonna be able to make no money, off America no more, man. I'm just gonna jump down because it's going into like the and slaves, chariots and slaves and souls of men. You got to let me read that, man. The merchants, verse 12, the merchants of gold, silver, precious stones, and of pearls, and fine linen, and purple, silk, and scarlet. Man. And fine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of the most precious wood, and brass, and iron, and marble, cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, frankincense, and wine, oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. And all here in America, man. No man's gonna be able to buy souls of men in this place anymore. A lot of our people, man, they gave up their soul. The entertainers, these rappers, man, they took these deals with Satan, they're not gonna be able to do that no more, man. Men with the most talent, musicians of our people are the best musicians. They'll be able to make music in the kingdom without having to sacrifice a loved one like they have to do now, man. They're not gonna have to drink blood, to be able to make beautiful music. Kanye West, man. Talented dude, man. Now he bugged the hell out. Kingdom, he ain't gonna have to, do whatever it is he's doing. Be on top. He'll be able to make music freely. Be able to, however it's set up in the kingdom, man. Different musicians. A lot of guys are into playing music, man. They're good at instruments. They'll be able to freely do that. Not having to give up their soul on this side. What they have to do on this side, give up their soul, so to speak. Because all the souls belong to Yahweh, You can't sell your soul. But symbolically, giving it up to Esau, having to do evil works, abominations, make yourself abominable. These demons can work with you, No more of that. Jump down to 16, verse 16, Revelation 18:16, saying, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, purple, scarlet, decked with gold, precious stones and pearls. The richest of America. It's talking about here in America. Babylon the Great. That great city, Babylon, man. For 1 hour, so riches is come to naught. So all the riches are going to be gone, man. America's going to be done. For 1 hour, so great riches come to naught. Every shipmaster and all the company of ships, sailors, and as many as by trade, by sea, stood far off, and cried when they saw the smoke for burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Basically just going into the 1 hour. It's read, ceased very quickly. Back in Zephaniah. Speedy riddance of the land. It's Zephaniah 1:18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even speedy riddance. All of them that dwell on the land. It's going to be quick, Structure. But yeah, let me just get into this article real quick. It's out of Russia Today, International Russia Today. The war on Iran could remake the world. And the world is going to change, man. It's going to be the beginnings of something greater, man. That new world order that they're going to push. Who knows? Hostilities in the Middle East pushes the world toward a harsher global order. Yeah. It says hostilities in the Middle East pushes the world toward a harsher global order. So what does that mean, man? Could be gas prices could shoot up. More uproars. People are gonna have to push more unrighteous decrees like they did with 9/11. After the Persian Gulf War and all that, Patriot Act and all that. So the United States and Israel justified their military campaign against Iran by claiming it was necessary to protect themselves and the world from a nuclear threat. Really, they just want that oil. And yeah, because Iran did make threats to Israel, talking about they're going to wipe Israel off the map and all that. Iran was accused of secretly accumulating enough weapons-grade uranium to build up to 11 atomic bombs. Yet after the first week of bombing, it became clear that nuclear fears were only part of the story. Yeah, they ain't got no weapons like that, It's scripture said that Russia's going to be a guard under them, and Russia's going to be doing the heavy lifting, protecting that nation, you know? The war against Iran is not merely another Middle Eastern conflict. It marks the latest stage in a long process of upheaval that has been reshaping the region since the end of the Cold War. And the consequences of what is happening today will extend far beyond the Middle East. There's going to be consequences of that war, you know? It's all going to accumulate up until the return of Yahweh Shai, man. Lord will, man. This is it. Lord will, man. We don't know exactly, because World War III ain't got to push off until that microchip is pushed, you know? World War III. But Lord will, you know, this is a series of events that accumulates up into that. Now, the current war can be seen as the culmination of transformation that began more than 3 decades ago. 3 decades ago, the modern Middle East emerged in the 20th century during the decline of colonial empires. But the order began to unravel in 1991. The United States launched Operation Desert Storm to expel Iraqi forces from Kuwait. Remember that, man. Yeah, so, you know, in 4th grade, elementary school, when that war popped off. It was a big deal in the Middle East, but it wasn't that time yet. You know? It was close, but it wasn't that time. Or the elect still hadn't been woken up, you know? The timing was symbolic. The Gulf War coincided with a dramatic shift in global politics. The collapse of the Soviet Union and the end of the Cold War, and the emergence of what was often called the unipolar moment, a period of unraveled American dominance. Unrivaled American dominance, yeah. Unrivaled American dominance, man. Great city Babylon, man. You know? The one that put the fear in all these nations. The scriptures say, you know, have you become as weak as we? Eventually, America's gonna get brought down when Yahweh Shai comes back, man. Have you become Esau, man? Have they become as weak as we, man? That's what the other nations are gonna say. But yeah, the collapse of the Soviet Union, because it wasn't that time, because the Soviet Union collapsed. It's part of the history, part of the domino effect, because part of the prophecy was that you guys put hooks in their jaws and turn me back. Talking about Russia, you know? They want to come, now they're trying to come back to that old Soviet Union. That old Red Army, Soviet Union. So that's another prophecy that we're close. Because now during 1991, that was the collapse of the Soviet Union. Mikhail Gorbachev, and he was a leader during that time. Another wall. That big, what was that? I think it was like a great wall that broke down. But now we're in a time where the Lord's putting hooks in their jaws, and bringing them back. Yeah? Trying to bring them back to that Soviet Union that collapsed. What followed was a chain reaction of crises and interventions. Terrorist attacks on New York and Washington in September 2001 triggered the global war on terror. Axis of evil, Baby Bush said. The axis of evil and all that. Well, they were the ones that orchestrated, you know, 9/11. You know? Leading to military campaigns against Afghanistan and Iraq. Yeah, axis of evil they're talking about, man. But there was a reason why they did it. They brought them towers down so let them go up in there, you know, to get their resources. The Arab Spring then destabilized regimes across the region. Yeah, the Arab Spring, man. You know, uproars of the people. That was one of the main uproars that started everything off, man. The Arab Spring, man. And the Ishmaelites were going wild. They was going buck wild over there, man. During that Arab Spring. This is what the name given because they're all Arabs uprising, man. Big uproars of the people over in the Middle East. The Arab Spring then destabilized regimes across the region followed by interventions in Libya and prolonged civil war in Syria. Yeah, man, the main thing that came out of that, one of the main things was that Patriot Act. See if I can find some information on that. Yeah, just type in Patriot Act in Google AI. It says U.S. Patriot Act 2001 passed shortly after 9/11 expanded U.S. Law enforcement surveillance powers. So you lost a lot of rights, over that 9/11. To detect and prevent terrorism, and all that in the name of terrorism. Now they surveillance everywhere. Surveillance is on your phones, tapping in on your phones, listening in, It enabled enhanced wiretapping, information sharing between agencies, and sneak peek warrants. Significantly broadening federal search capabilities. It aimed to improve national security by reducing obstacles to investigating potential terrorist threats. So we had that 9/11 brought in that Patriot Act, which increased that surveillance power that the government has, man. Tap in on you, check in on you at all times, man. Part of that New World Order, man. Keep your eyes on you, man. Easier way to do it. Surveillance expansion authorized broader use of pen-registered tap and trace devices. Pen-registered tap and trace devices, allowing tracking of electronic communications and web browsing. And information sharing facilitated intelligence sharing between national security and law enforcement officials. Anti-money laundering strengthened measures to detect money laundering and prevent the financing of terrorism. Investigative tools, expanding the ability to conduct sneak and peek searches where notice or warrant is delayed. So yeah, So whenever they do something major, start these wars, there's always a reason behind it. Lord will, this war is gonna one step closer, to really enacting that New World Order. Just jumping down a little bit. It says, however, even if Iran were defeated militarily in a relatively short time, the central question would remain unanswered. What comes next? Scriptures tell you what comes next. Job 20:23, when he is about to fill his belly, Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So when he says it's about to fill his belly, that means, when he's about to come to fruition, or completion of his New World Order. It's going to allow him to get to a certain space. It's going to allow him to accomplish so much, mainly his chip, the Ahwar temptation. When he gets so far, he's going to allow that destruction to come, hour of temptation, time to Jacob's trouble, time like the weather. It's going to allow him to get to a certain point. Why? Because he has to put that ass whooping on our people, man. Because Esau is full-size weapon, man. Find that. God, that's Psalms 17:13. Rise, O Lord, disappoint him. Cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Yeah, this is the wicked Esau, man. He's a sword. The Most High, man. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. He's going to use this man at a certain point to really put that last blood booking on our people, man. Cast him down, disappoint him. Then the Lord's going to cast him down and disappoint him, man. But yeah, he's going to use them just like these cops to kill you jakes on the regular, man. That's the sword of the Lord, man. Cast him down, disappoint him. It says back in Job 23, or 20 and 23, when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So yeah, right when he thinks he's about to really get that New World Order set off, man, the Lord's gonna bring him down. It's gonna cast him down. It's gonna disappoint him, you know. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Yeah, he's gonna flee from the iron weapon. He's gonna run off to the mountains, run underground, deep underground military bases. He's gonna run in the ocean, man. He's gonna talk about, he's gonna go into the sea. Then Leviathan's gonna get him, man. You're gonna go up there into the heavens. Up there in space station, or go up in those little planes or whatever. It is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. The terrors are upon him. Yeah, it's come out of the body. Some of the silos, man. Job saw the vision of the missiles coming out of them silos on the ground. You know, the movie The Day After shows you that. I think his name is what's his name, man? It's John Lithgow. Yeah, the movie The Day After came out in the 70s. It shows you the missiles coming up out of the ground. It shows you that destruction. And Jonathan Lithgow was in it. Movie The Day After. It's a good movie, man. It shows you. I don't know if you can see it. Just a picture of it. Like glare, you probably can't see it. You see those missiles coming up out of the house. That movie The Day After. Yeah, that's what it's talking about. The missiles gonna come up out of them silos, man. It is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yeah, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him, man. Yeah, That's what's going to come next. You know, when he's going to have to fill his belly. He's going to get that New World Order set off, man. Come up with all these unrighteous decrees and get that. Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. You know, that's one of them unrighteous decrees, man, was that Patriot Act, man. You got no privacy in this place, man. Surveillance everywhere, even on your iPhone, man. Just listen in when you think, hey, you're listening. Just listening in, man. They can intercept your text messages. You think your text messages, be careful what you put in your text messages, man. Anybody can, intercept those, man. Computer systems. Anybody can hack into your computer, you know. They give you a virus and all that. It's part of that unrighteous decree, man. And the new unrighteous decree is going to be what? You know, that microchip, man. It's going to force you to take it. What comes after that, you know? Ecclesiastes 12. It's all going to accumulate a series of events, man. Because the article asks what happens next. If Iran is, let's say, Iran is defeated, what's going to come next after these wars? Because it broke down a whole list of things that came after these certain wars and these certain situations that the government sets up. So what's next, right? You know, the NWO, New World Order, Esau's New World Order, the economy collapsing. Like I said, the gas prices out here in California, man, some places, downtown LA, gas is $8 a gallon, man. $8. No one ever thought that it would get that high up. That's just here in whatever happens in California, it's going to spread across all the states. You know, what happens in New York and California, it's going to spread across all the states. Just like with the jabs, you know, it's 2020 jabs. What, it started in California, it started in New York. They started making those mandatory. You couldn't have a job if you weren't jabbed up. You know, you couldn't go to the club if you weren't jabbed up. You had to show your card, you know, papers, so to speak. So right now in California, I remember when gas was $4. That was like a big thing. Gas $4, $5. Now you got all these other states where gas is $4. Yeah, gas is gonna triple, double, triple across all Babylon. Points where people aren't even gonna be able to have gas. You know, I'm gonna be a fuck it. I'm just gonna walk. This is Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth. All the evil days come not. So now is the time to remember the Lord. Now is the time to get right. How about Shemi Awashai, man? All the evil days come not. You can walk down the street. You know? You still have a job. You know? Remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth. While the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, now shall say, I have no pleasure in them. Now is the time to get right, man. Now is high time to wake out of sleep. While the sun, or the light, or the moon, the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. And yeah, we just, you know, what's going to darken these clouds? What's going to darken the sun and the moon? Get right before that destruction. In the day when the keepers of the house will tremble, keepers, you know, the economists, you know, these money guys, you know, capitalists, bankers, they know what's coming, they see it. Like it's for a while, man. The economy collapsing, the economy slowly going downhill, man. Laden with that thick clay, it's good to say, I mean, that debt, that heavy debt in the video a while back, man. And the economist, he actually used that exact term, man. It's getting thick out here, man. It's getting thick. That's thick clay, that heavy debt this place is in. The day when the keepers of the house are trembling, they're trembling right now. The strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. And the jobs are coming to an end. There's going to be no jobs out here real soon. So there are few. Those that look out the windows be darkened. Yeah, there's going to be no hope. There'll be no hope out here, man. The doors shall be shut in the streets. You'll be able to go to these little businesses, opening up, you know. All the businesses are closing down. You see them certain streets. Them are closed up businesses. The lease go to sunset. A lot of these businesses are shut down. So leasing signs on all these buildings, man. So the doors shall be shut in the streets. And the sound of the grinding is low. The sound of the grinding is low, man. Sometimes you ain't gonna have no job, man. You want to take pride in your jobs. There ain't gonna be no jobs out here, man. A lot of these, the black woman, the Negro woman, man, the U.S. woman, she's feeling that now. You know? She took a lot of pride in having these jobs in the Esau system, man. She took a lot of pride in getting her PhD, going to college, and all that. It was all just DEI, you know? They just hired you, you know, because you were a double minority. You were a female, and you was a minority, a so-called minority, a black woman, man. And now that daddy, the government, ain't with you no more. You know, he took them jobs from him. Trump got up in there. He took them jobs from him, man. Not a lot of you women are living in your cars. It's a small scale, man. That's gonna be on a wider scale soon, man. Living in your cars with your kid, you know. You didn't want to have a family. You didn't want to do none of that shit. You want to be Miss Independent. You want to be the single mother. You know, it's the reason why you have families, man. But you gotta support raising your damn kid. There's no point in having a family and getting married. Ninjas don't want to do that. You want to do everything backwards, man. Now you got to worry about raising this kid and you're homeless now. You're worried about raising this kid and you got no money. That's why you come together as a family. So you got support of the family. Your husband working, you lose your job, your husband working. Husband loses your job, your female working. We have the grandparents that can help you out. You know? You have the aunties, uncles. Aunties and uncles and your cousins, family, all the family together so they can help you. You know, they're supposed to be independent, you know, or interdependent, you know. There's the door shall be shut in the streets, and the sound of the grinding is low. And you shall rise up to the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. But that's it's another indication, man. Daughters of music have been brought down low, man. Music is trash. You know, 90s came and went. You'll never be able to replicate the 90s, man. That's another indicator of what's coming next. You know, economy collapsing, jobs being lost, right? And ultimately, you know, pushing that chip. Revelation 13:15. And he had power to give life to the image of the beast. It's the image of the beast. You know, it's Roman system being reincarnated over again, man. It's Roman system here in America. But the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. There's gonna come up with more draconian laws, more unrighteous decrees. Point where you can be put to death for not following the ways of the system, man. Not taking the chip. Just like they did back in ancient Greece. Antiochus Epiphanes, man. Brothers of the Maccabees, man. Chapter 7, man. They refused to eat pork. They put Jake to death for not eating pork, man. Not sacrificing swine's flesh at all. Following after the ways, reading the scriptures, man. Put to death for reading the scriptures, for eating pork, man. Those were unrighteous decrees back then. Those same men are reincarnated here today. So what's going to come up with more unrighteous decrees, more draconian laws? And they may even do away with the Bible. They may even come up with a law that says, hey, you can't read the Bible, man. You grab the Bible on you, you're going to be sent to a camp and put to death. They may do that, man. Make movies about that. And he he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Well, that technology is here, man. And knowledge has been increased as we read in Daniel. But that technology is here. RFID chip, put in your hand, and on your forehead, Neuralink. Neural dust. It's even smaller than a grain of sand now. Now it's smaller than a grain of rice. Now it's the size of a grain of sand. It can cause all, both small, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So everybody's going to be subjected unto this new system that's going to push. Hour of temptation, as it's spoken about. That no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark, with the name of the beast, and the number of his name. Now says that no man might buy or sell, man. So we just went into Ecclesiastes. It said that the grinding shall cease. There's not gonna be no jobs. We get rid of that money system, man. How's society gonna go if no one can, work or earn a wage or a living? You have to come up with some type of digital system, some type of money to pay these people. As of right now, it's looking like it could be the UBI, man. It talks about universal basic income and the universal high income. That's being talked about. So that's a potential solution for having people to be able to operate and function in society without having a job. Because you have the robots are going to be doing all your jobs. Robots, AI, they're going to be doing all the administrative tasks. So how are people going to support them? They're still going to be providing goods and services because AI is going to be providing those goods and services. So how are people going to live? They're going to come with that universal basic income, or universal high income, or Bitcoin, or however they do it. But there's going to come a way, something's going to happen when you're going to need this chip in order to get that stuff, in order to participate in society, in order to be able to get them goods and services. It says that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. 666. Yeah, as far as what comes next, a new world order, a new money system, all hell breaking loose here in America. Yahweh Shai is mentioning that's also a time when Yahweh Shai is going to return. That's what's going to come next. The return of Yahweh Shai. I just spoke about that, the image of the king in the book of Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar, man, I believe. The image that he saw in different kingdoms. And in this time, man, is when the Lord's going to return. Yeah, the king's dream. This is Daniel 2:31. So now That's what's gonna come next, and that's what we look forward to, man. That's why we hasten the day. That's why we want to see these things. That's why we get excited about these things. Because now, this is the time that Yahushua is going to return and deliver his men and establish his kingdom. I'm tired of this place, man. I'm tired of the bottom. I'm tired of disrespect. Being so-called black men in society, man. I'm tired of it. 2/3 of our people, they want to save these other people that hate you. You know, that hate your guts. You want to get the fuck up out of here, man. So we can rule, man. People say that there's special people unto the Most High, above all people that are on the planet, man. Or above all these other people. But we're seen as beneath them, man. We're seen as bottom of the barrel. And that wears out on you over time, man. That wears you down, man. Our people are just destroyed for lack of knowledge out here, man. Especially when you come to the truth and realize what we're supposed to be, man. Can't wait to this thing. You're ready. You're ready for these entities to come, man. You're ready for Yahushua to come, man. You want Yahushua to come, man. Yeah, it's Daniel 2:31. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. The image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass. Yeah, you know, we saw that image on the head. Obviously, that represents different kingdoms, man. The main kingdoms, you know, the Babylonians, you know, Medo-Persian Empire, man, the Greeks. And then thighs of brass was the Romans. And his legs of iron, part iron and part clay. Talking about America, man. The image of the beast. You know, the Roman system reincarnated America. It's strong like the Roman, but it's also part weak. It's like we read about the keepers of the house of tremble, man. This place, this infrastructure in this place is crumbling. It's strong, there's a strong military, but it's also weak at the same time, man. Part iron, part clay. Right? It's about America. Babylon the Great. Now sawest till that a stone was cut without hands. Who's that? Stone cut without hands, man. Great, like chief cornerstone, somebody Yahushua, which smote the image upon his feet that were iron and clay, to break them into pieces. So the Lord is going to smote this place in this time, man. Part iron, part clay in America. He's going to return in this time. You know? Then was the iron and clay, brass and silver, and the gold broken into pieces together. And became like the chaff of summer threshing floor. And the wind carried them away, that no piece was found in them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. And Yahushua, when he returns, man, he's going to come in that great chariot, man. He's going to destroy his kingdom, man. And none of them other kingdoms are ever going to rise up again, man. They're never going to come to power again, man. Yeah, Yahushua, that chief cornerstone, man. Ephesians 2:19. Ephesians 2:19. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens, the saints with the saints, and of the household of the Most High. Yeah, you know, Israelite foreigners, man. You know, the Israelites, the elect, come together, man. No more Gentiles in a Gentile state of mind, man. They have the truth understanding. We'll woke them up. You know. No more strangers and foreigners, man. I ain't talking about the heathen nations, man. Some of our people that were in a Gentile state of mind, man. And now they're coming back in this time, man. The Lord is gathering his elect in this time, man. And are built upon the foundations of the apostles and prophets. Yeah, you know, built upon, or to give honor, double honors, the apostles, the elders, you know. Those are the men of great millstones. Those are the men that Yahushua is working with, man. Gave them the knowledge, and they passed on the knowledge. We're out here pushing the truth, man. Waking up the elect across the four winds, man. That's another prophet. As soon as his word is spread across the four corners of the earth, then shall the end come, man. Yahushua himself being the chief cornerstone. So they're broken down right there. So let me start at the top again. Ephesians 2:20. And are built upon the foundation of the apostles and the prophets. Yahushua himself being the chief cornerstone. Chief edge, like we read in Daniel, man, that corner, that stone cut without hands, man. Our foundation, Yahushua, man, our rock, you know? That's our foundation. That's whom we put our faith into. That's whom we put our trust into. It's Yahushua, man. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. Woe to you that go to his government for help. You're supposed to go to Yahushua. Woe to you that go to FEMA for help. Yahushua himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto the holy temple of the Lord, in whom we also are building together in the habitation of the Most High through the Spirit. Building together, yeah, you know. Point being, you know, Yahushua himself being that chief cornerstone, man. Yeah, right here, you know, they gave me this little pamphlet. It says, Histo Christo Tiamo, you know? That's right, it says, Jesus Christ is coming. You're right, you know, the Lord is coming, but not how they think it. Not how they think it's coming, man. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, man. People, Christians, man, Mexican, Hispanic, Northern Kingdom Christians, man. I think the Israel think that Christo is a white man. Really. That's why they out here. But woe unto them that desire the day of the Lord. Who is it? What is it to you? It's like the Lord is coming, man. Yeah, I mean, the Lord is coming, man. Yahushua, Jesus Christ ain't his name. Oh, but yeah, you know, Yahushua is that chief cornerstone. When he comes back, man, he's going to establish that new heavens and that new earth. You know, hurry up and get this, man. War in heaven, man. We're looking forward to that war in heaven, right? That's what's going to come next. This is Revelation 12:7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. In the midst of World War III, man, Yahushua is going to return, and Esau, his fighter jets, Esau, his air force is going to try to fight against the Lord, man, and prevail not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. Meaning the Lord's going to take him out of rulership. The place ain't going to find him. He found no more in heaven, man. And that great dragon was cast out. That old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. And that's exactly what he did. He deceived the whole world, man. You saw an example of that. This Christ woman coming up here giving these Spanish pamphlets. I don't even speak Spanish, man. She's coming up here speaking this, man. That's part of that deception. Histo Christo. That's part of that deception, you know? But you see, with the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him, man. So he's been cast out, man. He's cast out of that rulership. He's been cast right into the pit. He's been cast out of rulership. He's been thrown right into the pit. The pit of slavery. start wrapping it up Lord week, man. I want to get into slavery, but salvation. But I'll get into it probably Wednesday show. Get into the salvation, man. Beamed up, delivered, man. Work after the work, man. I'll get into it then. Man. But I want to make that point about new heavens and new earth. Isaiah 65:17 says, "For behold, I create a new heavens and a new earth, and the former should not be remembered, nor come to mind." And we're gonna forget about this whole, this system on this side, man. This all's never gonna be remembered again, man. This whole way of being is gonna be forgotten. Behold, I create new heavens and a new earth. It's talking about that new rulership, man. Get that real quick. Want to get that, and you got the Bible commentary, man. It's out of tips.translations.bible. Bible commentary. And the former things shall not be remembered, will come to mind. The former things recalls their former doings, former troubles. There is also a possible link to things, pointing to conditions before the exile and the exile itself, and the new things referred to by the reestablishment of the Most High's people after the return from Babylonia. How you doing, man? Here are the former things probably refer to the troubles that the people have endured since they came back to Jerusalem. Synonymous expressions shall not be remembered and shall not come into mind. Stress that the people have completely forgot in their earlier hardships. Yeah, the stress that people forgot in their earlier hardships. So you're going to forget about all the stress, the anxiety. The Lord said, hey, cast thy burdens on him. Right now, we're going through all these burdens, stress, and BS. The Lord said, we've got to cast it upon him, this side. On the next side, man, you got to deal with all that stress, that burdens, that hell, disrespect, the BS that comes from being, in this place, man. It says God's, or the Most High's new world will bring so much joy that they will no longer remember that past. So let me read that again. It says the Most High's. Right here it says God's, where it says Most High's new world will bring so much joy that they will no longer remember that past. No longer remember Babylon here in America, man. In this bitter ass place. So America means bitter. Right? It says God's new world. So the real new world order is going to be established by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's the true new world order. So yeah, let this man bring on his new world, whatever. Bring his new world order, his new world, whatever he wants to do. His great reset. The Lord's gonna allow him to fill up his belly to a certain point. But while he is eating, the Lord's gonna cast that fury upon him. The Lord's gonna cast that fury. I think I'll go a little more into salvation next week on Wednesday. yeah, you know, give all praises. I'm gonna end it right there. Give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, Ba'asem Yahweh, Yahushai, Yahweh, Yahushai, Yahweh, Yahushai. Kwam Yashala, Kwam Yashala, Kwam Yashala, Shalom.